Hi, Miss Duty. It's Nicole from your first period, and I'm going to be proving that the tangent of alpha plus beta equals the tangent of alpha plus the tangent of beta over 1 minus the tangent of alpha times the tangent of beta. So, tangent equals sine over cosine. So we can rewrite this side of the equation as sine of alpha over cosine of alpha plus sine of beta over cosine of beta all over 1 minus sine of alpha over cosine of alpha times sine of beta over cosine of beta. Okay, so now to simplify this, we can find a common denominator up here, which is cosine of alpha, cosine of beta. And that gives us sine of alpha times the cosine of beta plus sine of beta times cosine of alpha all over cosine of alpha times the cosine of beta. And then that is all over this here. And then we can multiply this out, so it gives us 1 minus sine of alpha sine of beta over cosine of alpha cosine of beta. And then, to simplify things further, we can find a common denominator in the denominator. So we can do cosine of alpha cosine of beta over cosine of alpha cosine of beta, because that equals 1, minus sine of alpha times the sine of beta over cosine of alpha cosine of beta. Oh, and all of that, well, that is the denominator. Forgot to write the numerator. Still sine of alpha cosine beta plus sine beta cosine of alpha over cosine alpha cosine beta, now all over cosine of alpha cosine of beta over cosine alpha cosine beta, because it equals 1, minus sine alpha sine beta over cosine of alpha cosine of beta. And then we get back to sine of alpha sine of beta, sine of alpha times the cosine of beta plus sine of beta times the cosine of alpha over cosine of alpha times the cosine of beta all over cosine of alpha cosine of beta minus sine of alpha sine of beta all over cosine of alpha times the cosine of beta. Now, since they're fractions and we're dividing, we can do sine of alpha cosine of beta plus sine of beta cosine of alpha over cosine alpha times the cosine of beta times, you flip over the fraction, cosine of alpha cosine of beta over cosine of alpha times the cosine of beta minus the sine of alpha times the sine of beta. Now, the denominator here and the numerator here will cancel out, and then you get sine of alpha times the cosine of beta plus the sine of beta times the cosine of alpha over cosine of alpha times the cosine of beta minus the sine of alpha and the sine of beta. And now, since we have other identities that tell us that the sine of alpha times the cosine of beta plus the sine of beta times the cosine of alpha is equal to the sine of alpha plus beta. And we have another identity that tells us that the cosine of alpha times the cosine of beta minus the sine of alpha times the sine of beta is the cosine of alpha plus beta. And as we said before, tangent is sine over cosine. So sine of alpha plus beta over cosine of alpha plus beta equals the tangent of alpha plus beta. And that's it.